Lhonak Lake, also known as South Lhonak Lake, is a proglacial lake located in the North Sikkim district of Sikkim, India. It is situated at an altitude of 5,245 meters, 17,211 feet, above sea level, and is one of the largest and fastest-growing glacial lakes in the Himalayas. Lhonak Lake was first discovered in 1989 by a team of Indian scientists. Since then, the lake has been growing rapidly in size. In the past 30 years, the lake has grown by more than 100%. The cloudburst over Lhonak Lake triggered torrential flooding in the valley. The heavy rain caused catastrophic damage in Sikkim, triggering a glacial lake outburst flood, damaging a dam, damage to roads and infrastructure, and loss of lives, and affected more than 22,000 people. The overflow of Lhonak Lake caused a dam in the Teesta Valley to partially collapse, and muddy floodwaters surged into built-up areas, collapsing houses and submerging army bases. The floods also washed away highways and bridges. The catastrophic overflow of Lhonak Lake took place after 5 times the usual amount of rain fell on the state during a cloudburst, causing a dam to partially collapse in the Teesta Valley. The incident is the latest extreme weather event to take place in the fragile Himalayan mountain region in South Asia, which is heavily affected by the climate crisis and has recently been hit by excessive and unseasonable rainfall, flooding, and landslides. The bursting of Lhonak Lake is a stark reminder of the dangers of glacial lake outburst floods. GLOFs stands for Glacial Lake Outburst Floods, Glacial Lake Outburst. Floods are caused by the sudden release of water from a glacial lake. GLOFs can be triggered by a variety of factors, including earthquakes, landslides, and climate change. Climate change is a major threat to the stability of glacial lakes in the Himalayas. As the climate warms, glaciers are melting at an accelerated rate. This is causing glacial lakes to grow larger and more unstable. The Himalayan mountain range is one of the most vulnerable regions in the world to climate change. The region is warming at a rate that is twice the global average. This warming is causing glaciers to melt at an accelerated rate, which is leading to the formation of new glacial lakes and the growth of existing ones. The melting of glaciers is also causing landslides and other natural hazards. These hazards are posing a major threat to people and infrastructure in the region. Scientists have warned that if climate change is not mitigated, the Himalayan mountain range could see a significant reduction in the amount of snow and ice cover by the end of the century. This would have a devastating impact on the region's water resources and ecosystems. The legend of Lhonak Lake is a traditional story that explains the origins of the lake and the dangers that it poses. There is an ancient legend associated with Lhonak Lake, and it is a story that is important to the culture and heritage of the people of Sikkim. There are many different variations of the legend, but the most common one is as follows. It is said that the lake was once the home of a beautiful goddess named Lonak. The goddess was known for her kindness and compassion, and she often helped the local people with their problems. One day, a group of hunters were hunting in the mountains near Lhonak Lake. They came across a group of deer and began to chase them. The deer ran towards Lhonak Lake, and the hunters followed. The deer reached the lake and jumped into the water. The hunters followed them, but the goddess Lonak appeared and stopped them. She told the hunters that the deer were her sacred animals and that they were not to be harmed. The hunters refused to listen to the goddess, and they continued to chase the deer. The goddess became angry and cursed the hunters. She said that they would be turned into stone if they did not leave the lake immediately. The hunters were frightened and ran away. As they ran, they turned into stone statues. The statues can still be seen today on the shores of Lhonak Lake. The legend of Lhonak Lake is an ancient one, and it is difficult to say whether it is true or not. However, the legend has been passed down from generation to generation, and it is an important part of the cultural heritage of the people of Sikkim. The legend of Lhonak Lake is also a cautionary tale about the dangers of nature. The goddess Lonak is a powerful force of nature, and she is not to be trifled with. The hunters in the legend were punished for their arrogance and disrespect for the goddess. The legend of Lhonak Lake is also a reminder of the importance of protecting the environment. The rapid growth of Lhonak Lake is a direct result of climate change. Climate change is a serious threat to the Himalayas, and it is important to take action to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and mitigate its effects. Whether the legend of Lhonak Lake is true or not, It is an important story that teaches us about the power of nature and the importance of respecting the environment.